right, my friends, we are learning about poetry and writing, and one of the things we're learning about is the structure of a poem. Structure includes things like, how is the poem set up? Is it a shape poem? Does it have lines? Does it have stanzas? Does it have a rhyme scheme? Things like that. Those are structure. Today, we're going to explore those things, and then we're also going to talk about one other thing called point of view. So first, let's read our poem. This one is called Pluto. You're going to be doing the same thing with a different poem in your Class Kick pages today. So this one is called Pluto. It's from the book Comets, Stars, the Moon, and Mars. It's a space poems and paintings by Douglas Florian. Douglas Florian is one of my very favorite poets. He writes some very interesting things, like this poem on Pluto. Just so you know, Pluto used to be considered a planet in our solar system. It was the 9th planet. And alas, Pluto is no longer a planet. It is now a dwarf planet. So let's read about this poem on Pluto. It says, Pluto was a planet, but now it doesn't pass. Pluto was a planet. They say it's lacking mass. Pluto was a planet. Pluto was admired. Pluto was a planet. Till one day it got fired. Okay, it's kind of a silly poem about Pluto, but still, it gives us some truths as well. So, Pluto. The first thing I want to look at is lines. When we're looking at lines in a poem, that would be each line of text. So, we can number these. We're going to number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 lines of text, or 8 lines in my poem. We number the lines so it's easier to find the information we're looking for and to know how long our poem is. So that is lines in a poem. The next thing we need to look at for structure is, does this poem have stanzas? Remember, a stanza is like a paragraph in a poem. So you're looking for a big gap between lines. While there's a small gap in between the lines here, that's just spacing, and you can set that on your keyboard. This poem does not have any big breaks between the lines. Therefore, it is one stanza because I have no big line breaks. Let me show you the difference. This is one stanza. This one has 3 stanzas. See how the poet or author chose to move it over? That lets us know that I have 3 different paragraphs or stanzas working in my poem. All right? So this is one stanza and the other one was 3. So now I understand lines. I understand stanzas. Let's talk about rhyme scheme. When we're looking at rhyming words in a poem, we're always going to look at the last word in each line. The last word in each line is where we find rhyme scheme. So let's look at these words. Planet, pass, planet, mass, planet, admired, planet, fired. We need to figure out if there's rhyming words in this poem. We're only looking at the last word in each line. So, my words are planet, pass, planet, mass. Do any of those words rhyme? Does planet rhyme with pass? Does it have the same ending sound? Planet, pass. No, those words do not rhyme. They have the same first letter, but not the same last sound. How about pass and planet? Nope, we already decided those don't rhyme. How about planet, pass? Nope. Pass, planet? Nope. Planet, pass, planet, mass. Ooh, pass and mass have the same ending sound. That means that they rhyme. Pass and mass rhyme. So, if I was going to find rhyme scheme, I'm always going to use my alphabet to mark my pattern. Oh, no, that's an A. Because planet and planet are the same word. They have the same ending sound. Pass and mass have the same ending sound, so they get the same letter. Planet again. How about admired? Does it rhyme with any of these other words? Not so much, so it's going to get a different letter. And then planet again. How about admired, fired? Those have the same ending sound. So in this poem, we could say that lines 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, lines 2 and 4 rhyme, and lines 6 and 8 rhyme. Okay, these are our rhyme scheme. It's how we figure out a pattern in our poem for rhyming words. Okay, we've talked about lines. That's how many lines of words we have. Pardon me. We've talked about stanzas. That's paragraphs in a poem. We've talked about rhyming words and how we only use the last word on each line to find the ones that rhyme, and rhyming means they have the same ending sound. Okay? Lines 2 and 4 rhyme, lines 6 and 8 rhyme. We've talked about all of that. We have one more thing to discuss, and that would be point of view. When we're looking at point of view, there's two main ones that we are going to look at. We have first person point of view, and we have third person point of view. You see this in all forms of literature. Fiction genre, you're either going to have first or third person. First person point of view is when the author uses words like I, me, my, mine. It's all about the person talking. That's first person point of view. They're talking about themselves. In third person point of view, you're going to hear words like they, them, he, she, you can use proper names like Jimmy went to go feed the dogs. So they're talking about a person that's not them. It's somebody else. He did this. They did that. We need to talk to, they talk to them. That kind of thing. Or you're using a proper noun. So first person is all about the author. Third person, the speaker. First person is all about the speaker. I, me, my, mine, me. Okay? Third person is from the narrator's point of view. So it's they are doing this, he is doing that, she is doing that. It's third person. The narrator is telling a story about them. Versus first person, where the narrator is telling a story about themselves. So let's look at our poem and figure out what point of view our poem is in. All right, let's read it one more time, and we're going to look for those clue words. Remember, first person point of view is I, me, mine. Third person point of view is they, them, he, she. It's really talking, the narrator's telling you about something else, not themselves. So Pluto. Pluto was a planet, but now it doesn't pass. Pluto was a planet. They say it's lacking mass. Pluto was a planet. Pluto was admired. Pluto was a planet till one day it got fired. Okay, so is the poet using the first person point of view or the third person point of view? Are they talking about themselves or are they talking about something else? In this poem, I don't see the poet talking about themselves. They're talking about Pluto, which is in the third person point of view. So not talking about themselves. Okay, that's point of view, and we will review that again. But for right now, to summarize what all you have learned, we've talked about lines in a poem. We've talked about stanzas in a poem. We've talked about rhyming words and how to do our rhyme scheme. We've also discussed point of view, first person and third person point of view. On the next slide, you're going to read a short poem and answer a few questions about it to show me if you understand the points that we learned today in our lesson. All right, guys, have fun with that poem on the next slide. It's a good one. Kind of fits the season. A little football action. All right, have fun with it. We'll talk to you soon.